In this week's episode, we have the two personal planets, Venus and Mars, making a sextile to Neptune. So it seems like there's an oasis up ahead. And it's sweet, really sweet. Everything you desire may just be inside that tent. And also, we have the conflict day of the month on the 24th. And this is the Mercury making a square to Uranus. So a pill tough to swallow. Is there something you have to say, or is something you're hearing? New ways to think. So to hear more, tune in to this week's episode of Astrological Intentions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the production princess herself, Sandy Reevy.
It's true. Get up early, stay up late. Work, work, work.
And it is episode 187 and February 21st. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have a short week starting with Wednesday, February 23rd, Mars sextile Neptune.
Is that an oasis up ahead?
Sandy's conflict day, Thursday, February 24th, Venus sextile Neptune.
That's not my conflict part. Later in the day is. But this one is sweet, really sweet.
And then Thursday, February 24th, later that day, Mercury square Uranus.
That's the conflict part of the day, which is in the evening. And this is tough to swallow.
And then in Talisman time, Sandy has finished up to be recognized as an authority figure worldwide, as well as 3 talismans upcoming we will share later. Then on the horizon, we have our March astrology forecast happening this weekend. You won't want to miss. The March astrology cheat sheet is ready for download. Our final call for the Constellation Bracelet Workshop. And in our house, my birthday is coming up, and I have a gift for you all. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
And so you finally know you control where you go.
Hello, production princess.
Is that because that's what I landed?
Yeah, you have not veered off the tracks. I mean, no matter where you are, and you were down in Arizona, you had a plan every day, a lofty plan, like driving all over Scottsdale and hours around.
Ash Fork and Cottonwood and where else was I?
And then also helping to organize Andrew's move to the new golf course that he just got accepted with. And I mean, finding their apartment figuring out what area. Yeah. I mean, my gosh. So that's only in the personal production princess. Then the work production princess is like, we have events coming up. We have
a lot of private events.
Right.
Yeah. So if anyone is interested in doing a group, we should just throw that out now. A group event. Just get a hold of us.
Right. And there is a little bit more information on the website. If you click, I think it's about us. I want to figure this out real quick, but I have a whole webpage about it. So and
we can also, temper it to exactly what it is you're doing. I know we're doing 40 women for a birthday luncheon, doing their individual charts, writing things out, and doing like a little 2-hour Zoom.
Yeah, informational.
So
webinar.
Reach out. We can have fun. And actually, I've made talismans for all those women.
Yes. And so if you go into the event section and scroll to the bottom, book a private event. All right, so let's get back into it. I want to go direct to all of you listeners. Thank you so much for listening. We have a message from Vivin, and I might be saying that incorrectly, but she had an astrology reading with you, and she says, "Dear Sandy, I just went back and listened to our recording that you did for me in September. I got so much out of it this time, and it makes so much sense. I just wanted to thank you once again for the work that you do, and hope I can stay in touch."
Ooh,
so
I hope you go with us on retreat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and that's a really
considering it. Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting. So, yes, thank you so much for sending that in. Much love. And remember, anyone who wants to share their opinion or their love, I love to share that here on the podcast. So let's move into in the transits. It's a short week with a little hiccup maybe on Thursday night. So let's start with Wednesday, February 23rd, Mars sextile Neptune.
Oasis up ahead, right? We got Mars in Capricorn, where Mars is exalted, which means Mars has all faculties available to him as he is the guest of honor. He has anything he would require, would request, would desire, boom, is given to Mars. Any planet that's in his exaltation. So there's where Mars is in Capricorn. And making a sextile, it's a soft aspect, but it's a promising aspect. While this Mars, exalted Mars, makes his way toward this Neptune. And Neptune in Pisces, it's the co-ruler of Pisces because it's the modern ruler.
It's definitely Oasis.
And, this Neptune will calm Mars, right? It'll be like, all right, time to chill, time to relax, time to, enjoy, right? Soften your roles here, Mars. And so an oasis up ahead. So, hope you can see. Well, can you imagine?
Okay.
This is where practicality meets the unimaginable. Something comes from this. So keep wondering and wandering on purpose. Do it for a role. Mars here is has too many, like, if I say, I don't know, I'm getting stuck here. Again, it's probably the Neptune. Mars has so many abilities here, and when he comes into the range of Neptune's saying, okay, so we're going to work this out. May not be exactly in the way, but what is your purpose? And we'll help wander you or wonder you into this magical mystery.
Into a correct direction, maybe?
Well, into a softer direction. Like, things don't have to be so hard, right? Like, this is an enjoyable...
Right, a little bit more pleasurable.
It's like, and it's also maybe asking what your instincts are. What's kind of the belly... what can you trust to be true on this day? So it's like being in flow with something. Like, oh, I feel like doing this. Go towards that. That's the oasis up ahead. Okay. So imagine that, even though it may not be real because it's Neptune.
Right. And it's a possible mirage. So
right.
Thursday, February 24th, Venus sextile Neptune.
So, right. Does this sound familiar? Didn't we just do a sextile Neptune?
Right. Mars sextile Neptune, and then the next day, immediately, Venus sextile Neptune.
Yeah, because Mars and Venus are moving so close to one another. They're like conjunct. So, boom, right away, here comes the Venus making the sextile, and that is sweet. Really sweet. Because this now wants to go a long way. Maybe this oasis is a romantic haven, right? The Venus is about connecting and things that you are goal-oriented around. So maybe it's a haven of excess with beautiful women and men, fine fabrics, soft fabrics, and delicate, rich pastries. What do you think about that?
Yeah. And even like...
Right?
I don't know, something to me, a little bit about this description is maybe like your makeup routine, either shift that up or even like do like a cleanse of your makeup, getting rid of, because that Pisces and Neptune is a little bit more of like the facade. Like that kind of like mirage a little bit.
You know what? I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to tell you what I did the other night. Too weird that maybe this is what I can link to that.
Interesting.
So the Venus sextile Neptune, really it's about relaxation, softening, music, romance, art. That's why I was bringing in these fine fabrics, these tapestries, these rich, valuable cocktails or drinks or chocolates. It's kind of like, ooh, no borders here. Maybe be careful how much you eat or how much you enjoy.
Indulge.
But to your point of the makeup thing,
What?
this is so funny.
Oh, no.
The other night, I took my luxury bath that I get about once a week with candles and it's sometimes no music. Maybe I just do my mantras in there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what my bathroom looks like.
It's gorgeous.
It's very sensual. And
100% dim light.
And my
beautiful
candles
textures.
all lit.
You literally have fabric, like curtains on the sides of your bathtub because it's just solely a bathtub. So it's not like, a shower
it's a soaker.
curtain.
It's a soaker
It's like
tub.
the beautiful sheen curtains.
I got all kinds of shelves that Jim put up and candles on all the levels. Anyway, and I got out of the tub, did all of my thank you shoulder, thank you spleen, thank you knee, thank you putting on my butter lotion, I guess it's my body butter. And something made me open up. I had to move a chair because I have a chair in my bathroom. But I also have wall-to-wall carpet in my bathroom.
Yeah, that was a new phenomenon for you.
Because I'm really making it like a room. I have made it like a room instead of just a utility, facility
with
type.
the cold tile.
Cold tile.
Yeah.
All you do is go in there and put some waste somewhere, right, and clean it off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, TMI.
Yeah.
But I reached in my cabinet and I reached in and got this tube of lipstick. Like, oh, is this what I was getting in here? This is weird. And it's red. How many? Like,
you did
I
it.
never wear red.
Never.
I don't
think I've ever seen you.
It does not, like, it looks good on your skin with your dark hair. So I put this red lipstick on. Of course, I'm going to bed. So I put this red lipstick on, and I'm like, yeah, right. I look like, like I just took a bite of somebody's neck because it's like all red, and I look like a vampire. So anyway, I got ready for bed, and I went to bed. The next morning, I wake up and look in the mirror because I'm going to put my makeup on. The lipstick is still there.
Oh my gosh! And it's not all over your face?
No, because I sleep on my back.
Oh, beautiful.
And all I did was put gold over top of it, and I think that's my new way I'm going to be wearing my lipstick now.
Ooh.
Put lipstick on the night before, let it settle and stain, and then put my gold that I love, that I always wear.
Or we could just get you a lip stain too. Okay.
Anyway,
well, interesting.
There we go.
Yeah. Kind of playing around with that
story there.
mirage. So then we move to later in Thursday for your conflict day. And this is the 24th, Mercury square Uranus.
Yeah, this is at 8:22 p.m. and this is tough to swallow. Let's kind of go over the Mercury is
communicator.
Yeah, is squaring Uranus.
Right.
The
change maker.
The awakener, the shock, the awe, the chaotic, and it's a square, so there's stress balls here. But it's forcing you to have new ways of communication, but it's still tough to swallow. But however, let's go back because Mercury's been here before. Mercury was, when he was retrograding, he was making the square to this Uranus, and now it's the third pass of this.
Oh, okay.
So let's go back to January 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th, that entire time where Mercury was retrograding. And we recall back from then, where we are now, what has returned for a final reaction, a final review, something that's like, that other way hasn't been working. We're almost forced to come up with a new way to do something that is different than the way that we've always done it. And this can be erratic behaviors that are instilling new information. So maybe it's a phone call you get, maybe it's something you've been working on because it is the third pass of the Mercury. So I called this my conflict day, but it wants to lead to, don't be afraid. And maybe it's somebody being afraid to say something that they need a little bit more freedom, that they don't want to accompany their partner with something, or they don't want to agree on a contract or something. Isn't there an alternative way to do something that they have been maybe, humming around and what do you call that?
Procrastinating.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? You were procrastinating for maybe a reason. And is there a different way to do that? And that's the conflict I have here on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for me, and this is a complete aside to this, but just with the word procrastination, what I've really been understanding is that when I am procrastinating, I'm creating the thing that I'm procrastinating to be so much bigger and scarier than it really is. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if you can just minimize that, over analyzing, it's so much easier just to get it done.
And sometimes when you procrastinate, it's effort and energy and time
to do that,
to procrastinate.
Right.
Why don't you take first step toward the damn thing?
Mm-hmm.
Open up the email, right?
Right.
Just see what's required of you.
Don't worry about the preview that you just read. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's open it up. Let's sit with the first pass,
mm-hmm.
not the what if this, what if. No.
Mm-hmm.
So, procrastination is really a time wrenching,
time suck. Yeah. And procrastination during that time, it pretty much sucks. So let's move into talisman times. You have finished up one, which was February 19th, to be recognized as an authority figure worldwide.
With global status, I commit to the hard work, long hours, and dedication to service that is set before me. I have come so far already that I really feel like I'm on my way. This is a nice chart because we were going for, this is a Gemini rising with Mercury in the 9th house, and the moon making a really nice aspect to the Saturn, which is the reception
mm-hmm.
of Mercury.
And what I like about this one too, if I can interject real
mm-hmm.
quick, is that the progress is probably one of the most inspiring things when it comes to a project.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start seeing things evolving and changing, it feels like things are getting done. And so I think, when you were explaining that affirmation, it's kind of in that observation state of, okay, things are moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. Yes.
And we were just talking about procrastination.
Right.
Right before this. So this is kind of like, and this is to commit to, this is Saturn. This
mm-hmm.
is moon making a trine to Saturn. Saturn is up in the 10th house of career. It's like, hey, I was given a role that I was anticipating. I
mm-hmm.
wanted this role. Maybe I didn't want the role and it was given to me anyway, and I'm going to get great satisfaction by nailing it to the best of my
mm-hmm.
ability.
Or even I wasn't expecting it yet. Maybe it's sooner than you imagine.
Yeah, and it's like, I have to commit to the hard work, long hours, and dedication to service.
Mm-hmm.
This is all Saturnian comments that the moon is saying, yes, I'm willing and ready to harmonize this.
Yes.
It gets me where I want to go. It helps.
Absolutely.
It helps me and those around me. So I like that one.
And so the upcoming talismans, we have 3. 2 you made Wednesday, February 23rd. The first.
I will.
Yes, you will. Sorry.
Yes.
To share wisdom, appreciation, and awareness.
By being me on all levels at all times, I emote many golden nuggets for others to receive and value. We are filled. This is Pisces rising, of course, because we've got the Jupiter in Pisces. And I've got a comment to make when we get to our house a little bit about something. But Pisces rising, Jupiter coming up with the sun over already risen. So it's a day chart, which makes Jupiter a little way more glorious, let's say, in providing wealth and abundance and growth.
Mm-hmm.
And although the moon is in the disseminating moon phase here, which is saying share your gifts, share it, just in the last few degrees of the disseminating moon phase. The moon is in Sagittarius, also ruled by Jupiter, that's in the first house. So this is really, really about sharing all the information that you have, these little golden nuggets that you will provide for even if you don't say anything, because it's moon up on the midheaven, right? So with the moon on the midheaven in a Jupiter ruled sign allows for I'm just being and doing and creating an awareness, and people will kind of gather and choose.
Attune to that.
Yeah. It's kind of like, panning for gold. You put a lot of sand and water and pebbles and stuff in, and you let go of the, it goes to the little screen, and then you can get little nuggets of really good information and wisdom and appreciation and awareness.
Right. And I think that that's a huge reason why people, follow leaders, because these leaders have distilled so much information, and the way that they bring it to is like, inspiring, and people are saved a ton of time, because the years that it took for that leader to really develop these understandings and this way of thinking is hard to come by. And if someone is willing to share that, which, I know that a lot of people ask you, do you ever teach or mentor astrology? And that's
I was asked twice this week.
Right. And so it's like, that's something that we're, exploring to see if that is a good fit, so it's, when people can really attune to someone who is willing to share their wisdom, appreciation, and awareness that they've really developed. So yeah, that one's beautiful.
I like that one.
So same day, another talisman to earn and collect spiritual teachings. I have similar comments for this.
I amass this esoteric information I use to perceive and understand all that is probable and possible. I believe what I believe because of this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'll talk about this. Of course, this is just hours later. The moon is now in the 7th house, still in Sagittarius, and making an aspect first to the sun in a square, and then to a sextile to Mercury, which is the ruler of the chart, in the 9th house. So this again has that, and the midheaven actually, it has that 9th house theme of spiritual teachings that are maybe not just of the United States of America. These go beyond these borders that we've known since 1776 as we became this country. This is beyond that.
Right.
And these are philosophical questions. These are esoteric thoughts and information.
Right. And even things
it's like what is real, what is wrong? They're how do you grasp an esoteric
does it need to be tangible?
Belief? It's like I believe this because I've learned that.
Right.
And it works with my soul's energy.
And I've earned it. It's like I've kind of been there and I've utilized it, and it's something that, that you have to earn.
Well, you have to perceive it. Not all the time does it. You can absorb something, but do you really get it and understand it?
Just because you read a book on a spiritual teaching doesn't mean that you earned the information.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Good point.
It's like,
you have to kind of put the book down after every paragraph and like stare into the ethers or into my fireplace and go, what does that mean for me?
Right. And how do I even utilize that in my life?
Yeah. And so this talisman bracelet helps with that. If you're trying to, because the wearer of the chart, the wearer of the chart, the ruler of the chart is the wearer of the talisman, and allows that to believe in something and to garner this information by gathering it and going, how does that work for me?
Right.
Because I was raised this way. I was raised in this kind of
environment
and this
structure,
school and this religion and this church and these people. And
right.
But now I'm in this area of what's beyond all that. And I believe, I remember, just as a really quick statement, I remember not too long ago, probably about 6-7 years ago, I was driving in a car and my mom was in the back seat. There were other people in the car. And she asked me what I believe in. She asked me, Sandy, do you believe in this? Mm-hmm. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had something to do with a religion or like a philosophical question.
Right.
And I said, no, Mom, I don't believe in that. I believe in this. And she, I don't know if she had her seatbelt on or not. She sat up like right behind me. I was the one driving. And she's like, what? You don't? You don't believe in that? Well, that's what I taught you. Right? Like that kind of attitude. And it's like, wow, Mom, I'm like 60 now, you know?
Right. I can also develop my own beliefs.
I've been around a little bit, and some things do work for me, and thank you for what you did teach me, but I've moved away from some of that.
Right.
And it's kind of like this. It's like, you know, to earn and collect spiritual teachings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like this one.
And so the final talisman for next week, for this upcoming week, is Saturday, February 26th, to gain courage and protection.
My will and determination takes command. I plow through this field with strength and persistence, with the benevolent assistance of goodwill and fortune. Now, this is a Mars in Capricorn. Mars is moving through Capricorn. I have Mars. You also. Yeah. You and I both have Mars in Capricorn in our natal charts, and Mars gets into Capricorn for about 6 weeks every 2 years, so not very often. And the fact that these are, I think I've got one more Mars in Capricorn bracelet on the like next week or the week after, maybe, which is the last one. But this is one of the last few talismans I'll be making with Mars in Capricorn. So to gain courage and protection. And this, of course, is the moon in Capricorn moving toward Venus and Mars. These are two. Venus and Mars are really, really close together in the sky. And Venus is sitting right at the top of the chart. So this is the midheaven. So it's for everyone to see that I have gained, you know, courage and bravery, yet I'm protected because I've got the Mars there. So I know when when I'm in danger or when I need to pay attention to my surroundings or in my environment, I can get that urge or that sense to say, I have courage to overcome that.
Right. And it is something that you really need to cultivate. Right. Yeah. Right. Everybody, don't forget, this is the last week of the Talisman of the Month to develop new technology as a skill that is online and ready for you. On the horizon, we have been talking about the Changing of the Gods documentary. I believe that there is still time to sign up for this free viewing, so click that link if you want to join. Also, February 26th, that's happening this Saturday, we have our March astrology forecast with Sandy and Susan going through all of the dates. Also, you can download your March astrology cheat sheet and follow along. We would love to see you there. It's a really great time to engage, to comment about what Sandy and Susan are really bringing up for you.
Can I add 2 things?
Yeah.
On the horizon, it's not on the website yet. Mark your calendars for the next talisman ceremony, which is April 9th. It's a Saturday. It's in the morning. I want to say it's around 11 a.m.-ish. We're going to be gathering the energy of the Jupiter conjunct Neptune. Now, I'll be talking a lot more about this. This is a talisman ceremony. We'll be making a bead for each one of you. There will be handouts. This has not happened. Jupiter, the planet that rules Pisces, is meeting up with Neptune, the modern ruler of Pisces, and they're together in Pisces.
Okay.
So that hasn't happened since 1856.
Wow.
1856. It isn't. I did not mean to say 1956.
Right.
Which is the year I was born. No.
Right.
1856. It has. Okay. Now they meet up every 13 years, but always in different signs. But this one, they're in their own sign. So we're going to do a talisman ceremony here. We will not be, we won't be back in this form when this happens again.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to get one pass.
All right.
We're going to get one pass.
Whoa.
at the 23 mark of Pisces.
Okay, yeah. So we
And-
definitely have to start talking about that.
So we're going to start talking about that. We're going to put that on the website. Not this week, not next week, soon. It is in April. The other thing I want to mention is the personal intention bracelets, the personal intention talismans. Super great time to think about if you've ever wanted to get your personal intention bracelet.
Yep.
Now is the time to sign up because we got Jupiter in Pisces.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love that.
Venus is coming up to get into Pisces. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's in April. So, Venus will be there with Jupiter
For how long?
and the sun and the moon. So come on. And if there's ever been a time where you wanted something more for yourself, this is get on the list.
A prime time.
Of course, you have to order it or purchase it. Go to the website. Maybe you can put a link in there.
Sure.
It is $488, but it is something that you work with me one-on-one
Directly.
and we find a time. I make the beads. You're involved in the bead making just because you're doing your meditation at the same time. But then this is your personal based on your chart, based on the aspects going on and what it is you want. So if anyone wants more wealth or abundance or peace of mind or connections or just bliss,
that overall benefit.
Yeah, come on now, because Jupiter's going to be going into Aries in May. Jupiter will be coming back into the last 2 degrees of Pisces in October, November, December. That'll help me out a lot because I have a late degree sun in Pisces.
Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to get that
Yeah.
thrown in there because I usually I'm not a salesperson. My Mercury is in Pisces.
Right. But I mean, it's.
I've got several. I got my boards filling up right now for that purpose.
Right.
Because
personal
people are like,
talismans.
I want the Jupiter and Pisces energy. I am using a lot of that Jupiter and Venus in Pisces because Venus is exalted in Pisces. And she's going to be co-present with Jupiter, the ruler.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also, if you have any questions about the personal intention talisman process, you can always email me, alex@intentionbeads.com. I'm happy to kind of walk you through it, explain everything that you get with it, but also click on that link if you want to read just some of the basics. I'm going to breeze over the January 21 to 28 Early Bird Mexico retreat is still available. And that's our group number 2. If you are interested, throw your retreat deposit in, as well as this is our final call for the Constellation Bracelet Workshop for the spring equinox. That is happening starting March 2nd. And our final call is basically today, Monday or Tuesday. So you need to get that in. Email me if you are a little bit later than that, and I can let you know if we have some space, and then we can allow you in.
We do have some space right now.
So yeah. I think that's all for On the Horizon. So let's get into our house.
Yeah. What did you say? You've got a mystery comment.
I have like a little special announcement, but before that, you said you wanted to discuss something in our house.
Not in our house, on the horizon.
Oh, okay.
Those were the 2 things I wanted to talk about, was the
Gotcha.
talisman making and the personal.
Well, kind of something that I've been imagining and kind of wanting to step more into is,
which is perfect with the Mars in sextiling Neptune.
Yeah. And it's so kind of vague and mirage-like that it is so perfect for me right now, because starting next week, I wanted to bring in a little segment that we can just run every now and then. I'm not sure on the time frame. I'm not sure on exactly what's going to be happening, but I wanted to take a little bit of my expertise of, working with meditation teachers, with personal development, behavioral therapies, and just kind of like bringing this all into a space where we can explore and really, where I can showcase a little bit about, what I'm learning and what practices, if it's like meditation or breath work or, anything along those lines of, and just maybe even just like thoughts and theories and philosophies. So I'm thinking about bringing that into reality, and I'm really excited about it. I think this is going to be very cool for me personally, but also for our listeners, because how nice would that be if, while you're listening to our podcast towards the end, there's a little added bonus of listening to a meditation or taking time to just breathe in and recognize what's going on around you. Because, even though there's so many resources out there, sometimes it's just about being reminded to do it and being right there in the present and doing it along with. So,
all right. You're going to take us on some journeys.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah. And I'm going to do that for my birthday week next week.
I know. We get to celebrate that next week.
Yes. So thank you everybody for listening in on this episode of Astrological Intentions. Remember, we love your feedback. We love those 5-star reviews. So keep them coming. And we will talk to you all next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
And so you finally know you control where